Hi, good morning. I hope you're having a good day so far today. It is plant care day for me, and I know yesterday's video is also plants, but today is the actual day where I take care of everybody. So it shouldn't take long to do today because, again, obviously I checked literally everybody yesterday when I showed you them all, and I don't think many needed water, and I got a couple of them while I was showing you because I was there. Hey, I've already taken care of these guys, and something kind of exciting. I have left the, I need to get this. There we go, I got it. All right, so this guy has a water pump in it, and it's been broken. It still technically is broken, but it's been broken, and I haven't used it or tried to use it since September. That's the pump right in the middle of the screen there. But I haven't had it plugged in or tried to use it once since September because it was making a really horrible noise. But I really cleaned it out just now and like took it apart and then put it back together and everything. It wasn't clogged or anything. It's just kind of been in here because I haven't wanted to give up on it. And then I plugged it in and it actually turned on. It's not very strong, like that little waterfall that it's barely moving. It should be coming out of the top of it and doing like a lot more moving. But the fact that it's barely working is very exciting, and it's not being super loud, so you know, I'll take it. I will happily take it and leave it plugged in until it starts making noise. So if you hear me complaining about that within the next couple of days, that's why. But right now it's working and I'm happy. These guys are obviously all taken care of. I changed their water and otherwise nothing really needed to be done. All of them in here, there are 2 petunias in this container and in the back and 1 in the center. Everybody in here now has roots, which is extremely exciting. And my little sweet pea update for today, it is definitely still getting very tall. And these are the spicy bell peppers that I showed you yesterday. Nothing is sprouting in there yet. I'm still very hopeful that they will here soon, but maybe they just take a really long time. I don't know, but nothing has been happening quite yet. The one petunia that I showed you yesterday that looked like it was pretty sad, yeah, that one did not make it. It was completely rotted, so I had to get rid of that. But these are the other 2 that are propagating. It almost looks like they're ready to hopefully try transitioning to the soil. Let's see what's going on with you, sweetheart. Hopefully your roots are okay. I don't know why she's a weird color, but her roots are super healthy, so I don't know, but I'm gonna get these guys' water changed up real quick. Filled it up like I don't know, probably a third of the way up with plant food, and hopefully that'll be enough. If not, I can always add more, and it is like this weekend I will be giving them more food. I just didn't want to give them a ton right now, but I know they needed something. Hey, little ones, let's get you guys back in your home, shall we? I moved the 2 of the propagated ones into the center so that way I can see them a little easier instead of being back there. But otherwise, everyone is still in the same spot, and that one that was rotted, that was right here, is no longer in there, so that should also help the roots out a bit. But yeah, hopefully having a little bit more food in there will help because she needs to be a much darker green, more like this color. And right now she's almost white, and that's not good at all. So yeah, hopefully that will help her out a little bit. But everyone is now all cared for, and that did not take any time at all today. I only needed to change the water in the water plants. Everyone else is still good. They don't need anything today, which is honestly kind of nice because last week literally every single one of my plants needed at least something, whether it was something to control the bugs or water or like a trim or anything. Everybody needed at least a little bit something last week. So just having the water guys this week was actually kind of a nice change. Obviously, I always enjoy taking care of my plants, but because there was so much last week, it was kind of crazy. I'll do my best here to explain what I meant, because it was very difficult for me to explain through text. When I first got this little guy, she was super leggy because I didn't know how to like take care of her, and I didn't know that, you know, you had to trim your plants. That is something that I have recently learned within the past year, honestly, so it's taken me a while to figure that out. Just getting one of her longer vines so I can kind of show you what I mean here. I also brought this little guy down, by the way, so you could see it. These, all of the leaves that look the same as her are from when I cut her when she was super leggy, so I felt bad that I had to cut so much off, so I stuck all of these guys in water and propagated them. Then I moved them into soil. They were ready to. And how I water these guys, I do it the same for this one and the other 3 big ones that I have, but this one's in a clear container so you can kind of see it a little bit better. I water it when it gets completely dry dry, and then I leave it for another couple of days, like completely dry. Not so much that it starts wilting, but the soil is completely dry. Like right now, it still has a little bit of moisture in it, so I won't water it yet, but I probably will be in the next few days. But when I do, I give it a lot of water. So you can see where the roots are here. I fill the water up just above the roots. Once I can see that it's completely covered in water, I stop filling it with water, so this area pretty much stays dry, and then these guys are completely filled with water. I mean, like, I give it a lot of water. The other ones are a little bit harder to see because they are in black pots, and this one is a semi-clear one, but you can see, like, here's the water line. That's how high I fill it, but like, she still has water in here. But right after I water her, this thing is completely soaking wet, so you'll be able to really tell when I just water her. But yeah, right now she doesn't need it because she still has a little bit of moisture in there, but you can tell how high up I water them. But anyway, when I needed to trim her, what I did, and also for propagating, I'll show you what I did for that too, the best I can, or explain what I did the best I can. This is a really good example actually, because I need to trim her right here. So I can do that right now. These two leaves at the top here are, I can save these, but there is this gap where there aren't any leaves, but then there's a leaf here, right? So I will trim her. I'll get my scissors here in a second and trim her about right here, and then there will be a little cut here, so that's just where that will end. And you can see this is where a little leaf was supposed to be, where my finger is. So I will put this underwater, and then this is where the new root will start for the next plant, and then these little leaves will be part of a new plant, and then eventually I'll probably add it to that little group. But yeah, let me grab my scissors real quick so I can show you what I mean when I cut it, because this is a perfect example actually. And you can see how behind this part that I'm going to cut off, it has a bunch of leaves. So basically, if there were more spaces where there wasn't a leaf, I would just do the same thing where I would cut it in front of the leaf instead of, you know, leaving this gap. I need to put you down so I can do that. I need both hands. All right, so I cut it right there, and now the piece is in two, and this is going to be a new little plant. So I will put this, you can kind of see that it has aerial roots. There it goes. Like all the little dots that are on the vine, there we go, now it's in focus. All the little dots that are on the vine can become a root once you put it in some water. So yeah, I don't really need to take off the extra leaf here, so I'll leave both of these on. But if I didn't have this space, I would take off this leaf and then put where the leaf was underwater, and then a root will go there. These guys are super easy to propagate. You just have to put it in some water and then it will get a root, and then I just move it into the soil once it's about 4 to 5 inches long. Once the root is about 4 to 5 inches long, I move it into the soil. Where did the vine go that I just cut? There it is. But this one, once this dries out, a new set of leaves will start growing out from right here in between the vine and this leaf, and then that will make it so that it will be full again. Once the new vine starts growing out from here, I will cut this little piece off, and then you won't be able to even tell where you trimmed it. Let me see if I can find one so I can show you what I mean there. Here, there's one right here. Another vine was coming out here that was super leggy. So like this piece, how it's longer, I trim it all the way down to the vine so it matches, and then it looks exactly the same, and then you would never know that you had to trim it right there. But yeah, that's how I do it. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please let me know. I'll try and explain it a little bit better as well. And again, this is what works for my plant. Hopefully it will work for yours. I don't know if it will or not, because every single plant, even if they're in the same family, are completely different. They all have their own like little personalities kind of. So they all have their own different needs, but that's what I do for my little guy. Little cigarette bottle, that'll work. It just needs to be something that holds water. It's very difficult to do this one-handed. Okay. Come here, sweetie. Hey. And now I just kind of leave her over here. I'm going to put her under the plant light so that way she has consistent light. Oh, I did lower this, by the way, very much. So that way the sweet pea has a closer light, and also the petunias aren't very tall, so I lowered the light all the way down. But yeah, now I'm just going to leave this guy here. I don't know how long it takes for the roots to appear, honestly. They just kind of do whenever they want to. But yeah, that little guy's just going to stay in there, and I change the water When they're new like this, probably every couple of days. And then after it's a couple weeks old, I change the water once a week. But yeah, now that little guy will get some roots and then it will go into the container with all the other little ones. But yeah, that's how I take care of my pothos, trim them, and propagate them all in one little video. I really hope that helped you out. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. This is just what works for my plants. So I don't even know if this is the right way to do it. Also, that little petunia got wilty since the last time I looked at it. I need to trim that real quick. And I also think I forgot to mention how much sunlight the little pothos get. For the most part, those little guys up there, as you can see, it's very indirect light. I think they get like because like the sun will get to them shortly. I don't know if it will while I'm recording or not, but there is a chance that it starts to touch them while I record. But they are in the direct sunlight for, I don't know, an hour or two, maybe max, but probably more like an hour. I do know that the pothos that I showed you, the main one that I trimmed, that one is in the direct sunshine and she is in the sun, so they can handle quite a bit of sunlight as well. And she gets probably more like 6 hours of direct sunlight, 4 to 6 hours of direct sunlight currently. It depends on the time of year, obviously, as well. They adjust to the sunlight because, you know, it's over time and they get used to it. That's why when I say the first year of me having a new plant is the absolute scariest, because once I can have them for a year, then I'm able to figure out what they need, how much water they need, where they prefer living, like the one in front of the bathtub. That one took me a long time to figure out. So yeah, you just really have to get to know your plant. And again, it's different like for each and every individual plant, even if they're the same type or if they even come from the same one. Like if you have the propagations, like the little ones in the middle, their needs are different than the bigger ones. So it is definitely a challenge to get to know each and every one of your plants. It just takes a lot of practice, and being completely honest, I have lost more plants than I have currently because of all of the times that I have messed up and, you know, they didn't make it. But yeah, that happens like a lot. So you're gonna lose plants, but also the ones that, you know, you do well with, it's even more exciting. And I am absolutely not, like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing when I care for my plants. I just do it because I enjoy taking care of them. It just makes my room feel happy, and it just they just bring me a lot of joy, so I enjoy having them. So I figure out how to care for them the best that I possibly can. Like, I don't know what plant food to use. I don't know like anything about plants. I just kind of figure it out as I go along. That's one of the reasons why I make so many mistakes. The sunshine feels so good right now. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it, but we're obviously still using the orange yarn. It was actually a little bit cooler today than it has been for the past few days. Still not like as cold as it was last week, obviously, but it was cooler today, which I wasn't expecting. But I am almost done with the first row here, and then I'm going to knit the other one real quick because I'm pretty sure this video is already a little bit on the longer side. So I'm going to knit the other row just real quick, and then I will show you what it looks like for the day at the end. So give me just 1 second. Alright, well, I am all done with the knitting, and it has been a bit of time since I finished knitting because my stomach, as I said earlier in the week, it's still giving me some issues, so I had to go and take care of that. Yeah, I wish my tummy would get better already because it's almost been a week, and yeah, it's just getting frustrating at this point. But while I was gone, I also did some editing, and I noticed that there was like something moving behind the string of turtles. I don't know what it was, or I didn't know what it was when I was editing, but I figured it out. It was Deadpool moving on his swing, and I know it wasn't me that did that because I didn't go over there, and I know I have my dragon plushie that I got for Easter up there, but I put that up there this morning when I took the little Squishmallow guys that I had out there for Easter down, so that's been there all day. So I guess Deadpool just wanted to do some swinging, and you know, he was just relaxing back there, but it was very interesting. The shadow that it was making was very, I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, that's what was happening. I guess it was just Deadpool moving for some strange reason. But anyway, now I will finally show you the blanket for today. Here is the orange row of the day. It's the one that's on the needle. And this is the complete blanket for today. It's definitely getting very long. I can't believe how high I have to lift this thing so you can see all of it. It's been so much fun to make, honestly, and getting to chat while knitting and everything. I just really look forward to getting to do this every day. That's gonna do it for today's video, I think. I hope that it was helpful for you, and I hope your little plant does well. Again, I am not a professional whatsoever. I have no idea what I am doing with my plants. This is just what works for me and what I've figured out for them. It's taken a lot of trial and error, like I said, but they are doing mostly good, so I am very happy with that. But anyway, I'm gonna go now. So I hope you had a good day today, no matter what you did. If it was a lot or a little, it doesn't matter. I just hope you had a good day today, and I will see you tomorrow. What am I doing tomorrow? I think maybe doing the yard work, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It obviously always depends on the weather because the grass is growing really fast now. Again, I'm not sure on that. And besides that, I have no idea what I'm doing. So yeah, that's just a general idea of what I think I might be doing, but even that I'm not sure on. But anyway, I'm gonna go for today. Thank you again so much for spending some of your day with me. It really means a lot. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you later.